moments of brilliance, Bradley, and some moments of stupidity. I've been training boxers now for 27 years, over half my life. It's incredible when I think about it now. It's gone pretty quick. I don't think there's a relationship as close in boxing as the fighter-trainer. They might not see their manager for weeks at a time, promoter, the same, but they're seeing their trainer every day, so you definitely form a bond there. The man's putting his health on the line. I'm responsible for that. When the bell goes, he's in there doing the job, but I've also got to protect him. You take it up another gear now, and this fucker's gone. Keep him on the outside, pick him apart with the jab, work both sides to the body. My dad was a professional back in the 50s and early 60s. His two elder brothers both boxed professionally as well. So when I came along, I think it was a natural thing that they'd get me into. I always enjoyed it, but didn't commit properly to being a fighter myself. Always thought I'd like to be a fighter, but when I saw how much work is entailed, I just drift away from it. I was asked by a couple of guys from the club if I'd train them, which I did, and I found that the rewards that I got from coaching and training fighters was almost as good as actually getting in there and doing it yourself. So it satisfied my love of boxing without me having to get inside and do the hard work.
Put that jab on the same fucking spot, whether it be his nose, or his fucking split lips, or his fucking swollen eye.
Until he doesn't want to throw no more. When they stop throwing punches, that's it, finished.
A lot of the trainers in boxing, they're still going into their 60s, 70s, 80s even, some of them. They might not be as actively involved in the gym, but the knowledge is amazing. A fighter couldn't get that from anywhere else. So I don't ever consider actually never ever being involved in boxing. I think I'll always will be until, I don't know, they drag me out under the bottom rope one day.